Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. If you're new, then hi, my name is Caitlin. Welcome. And today I am doing the palette tag 5000. So I don't normally do tags. I tend to stick to more kind of project panning and get ready with me style videos. But I actually saw Sofie Alexandra do this little tag and I actually thought, you know what, that seems really fun and I actually want to join in with this. It is originally made by Sheet Geek here on YouTube, and both of those ladies, Sofie and Sheet Geek, are amazing project panners. I'm sure you've heard of them. I'm sure you're subscribed to them. But if you're not, I will leave them both in the description down below. They are amazing. Go and check them out. But basically, this tag is all about eyeshadow palettes. And you guys know I love my eyeshadow palettes and I always want to talk about them. I always want to share them with you guys. I always want to share my thoughts and opinions on them. But just before we do jump into the video, if you have not already, definitely like and subscribe because it would mean the world to me. I do so many project pans, shop my stashes and get ready with me's here on this channel, and I do have a shorts tutorial on this makeup look. It will be going live next weekend as you're seeing this, so stick around for that because I actually really love this look. It is so pretty. I've done it with my No Pan Left Behind palettes. I don't know, I'm not normally a purple gal, but I'm kind of loving it. Okay, I'm just gonna jump straight into the video. So number one is a palette you wore to a special occasion. During this whole tag, I'm not going to be repeating palettes. They're all new palettes. So I thought I would get the obvious out the way straight away. So it's been my graduation about 2 weeks ago, and that is obviously a very special occasion, and I did wear my ABH Modern Renaissance palette to that. This is my Pan That palette. The update would have gone live yesterday as you're seeing this, so definitely go and check that out. But as you can see, it has been beaten and bruised and I love it. So this was the look that I did with this palette. It's a very like glam, neutral, smoky wing kind of look, and yeah, I just felt really good. This palette, yeah, you can see it's seen better days. It's seen better days. It's what do I even say about it? I love this palette so much. I really didn't think I would start falling in love with it. I picked it as a Pan That palette because it was my oldest palette. I was expecting to just kind of like it. You know, I never hated it. I don't hate pan things. But this has honestly been a really nice palette to work on this year. You can see we've done really well. I'm almost scared to like finish it because I've just fallen in love with it this year, and having to use it every single day, it's not a chore at all. I'm gonna miss it. I really am. Like even some shades that I've finished, I kind of miss them, and it's just got a really special place in my heart. So I'm really happy with this. Obviously it is so banged up, it's ridiculous. This is my first pick for a palette you wore on a special occasion. Obviously, it's going to be very sentimental to me for that reason as well. The next prompt is a palette you love but is repetitive, and I have chosen my Colourpop Blue Moon palette. As you can see, there is a hell of a lot of blue in here, and if you're new to my channel, you may not know, blue is my favourite colour to wear on my eyes, so I love this palette so much. It feeds all my little blue needs. But yeah, you're doing blue if you're reaching for this palette. There's not really another way to go. Obviously, the same could be said for all of the Colourpop monochromatic palettes. They are all obviously monochromatic. That's the whole point of them. So I'm not gonna like take points away from them because that's like the whole point. But I adore this palette. Like I've hit pan on Clued In. Colourpop mattes are so hard to hit pan on, and yeah, I could use this palette all day every day. I don't think I'd ever get bored of it, but I could imagine if you're not a blue person, this could be very boring, very repetitive, and just a little bit too much. Luckily, I love that. I love blue so much, so it's not too bad for me. It is repetitive. You can't exactly say that this is like a innovative color story. It's not a like, oh my god, never been done before. Yeah, it's been done before and it'll be done so many more times, but I just love it. I just love it so much. The next prompt is a palette you got your money's worth out of, and I could have chosen my Modern Renaissance for this as well because you saw how banged up it was, but I was determined not to repeat palettes. So I chose my Soph X Revolution palette. You're seeing what it looks like. It is... I thought the Modern Renaissance was beaten. This is on its last legs. This is in a coma. This is not about to wake up anytime soon. So this was my Pan That palette a few years ago. You can see it is, yeah, it's really, really, really bad. In the best way possible, in the Panner's beautiful best way. I bought this a few years ago. I think it was like £10, 10 or £15, something like that. And I have got almost a year's worth of consistent use out of this. I absolutely adore it. I love it so much. I do want to finish this sometime in the future. Hopefully it won't take too long to do that. But maybe a Pan That palette next year. Who knows? Who knows? But like... the urge to finish this, like I'm so close to finishing it, I may as well. Yeah, I've definitely got £10 worth of use out of this. It still works fine. There are a few shades that I'm a little bit like bored with. I love it. I think it's such a good little palette. It was like a classic for a reason. This was all over the internet. This kind of made Revolution step up a little bit, I think. It was one of the first palettes that had really good quality on it. The packaging is completely gone as well. Yeah, I've definitely got my £10 worth of use on this, and I will continue to get use out of this because I love it. Next is a palette that is an amazing deal, and I went a little bit different for this, and you may disagree with me, but I have chosen the Juvia's Place Warrior palette. These pans are massive and they are relatively inexpensive. I think the Juvia's Place palettes are between £10 and £15 again. You are not going to run out of eyeshadow. You're not. This is going to last you until you die. This is a massive pan. And the same can be said for other Juvia's Place palettes as well. I also have the Zulu palette, which I adore. The pans are so big, and you may think, well, because the pans are so big, they must be really shallow, and actually, no, they're still pretty deep. So I think that for the money, this is amazing. It works on every skin tone. Everyone loves neutrals now and again, even myself. I think this would work for every person. I think the quality is incredible. The pan sizes are like blush sizes. They are insane. The shimmers are amazing. The mattes are beautiful. I think that this is such an amazing deal. You could be using this every single day for like 3 years, and I don't think you'd run out of product. It is great. Honestly, amazing. Amazing deal. And it's a safe palette as well, so like you can't really go wrong. It's just stunning. And yeah, I think that amazing deal. And as well as all the other like £9 Juvia's palettes, I could only pick one, so that's the one that I chose. Next is a quad that you love that you wish was bigger. Now, I don't have any quads in my collection. However, last year, my Pan That palette was my e.l.f. Truffles palette, and that palette was stunning. I actually finished 3 out of the 4 shades in that palette, and I kind of miss it, not gonna lie. It was like a taupey shimmer, a like light taupey matte, and then a deep brown, and then a black. I didn't end up finishing the black because it did crease on me a little bit. The black wasn't the best quality, but I still used so much of it. I finished so much of that palette, and yeah, it's like the first palette that I've properly finished apart from the black that I decluttered. But I'm just, yeah, I wish that was bigger, but at the same time, do I? Because I spent the whole year trying to pan it and trying to finish it. It's one of those. It's one of those. I really, really enjoy it. I'm not a quad person though. I do like a big chunky palette. So yeah, I didn't really know what to do for that one. Next is a palette you love but hate the packaging. So I'm just going to put a disclaimer here. I do not support this brand anymore. I do talk about it more in my 100% cruelty-free Project Pan series, but this is the She Glam Chromazone palette. From the inside, it doesn't look too bad, but then from the outside, this packaging is really disgusting. Like, it's not good. It's scraped up, and I do look after my palettes very well. Having a palette that is so scratched and easily, like, it just looks disgusting. It looks so bad. Like, either don't put this, like, matte film on it or make it last a bit longer. Obviously, I know She Glam is not a good brand quality-wise, so you know what? I can't expect that much from them. But this just puts me off using it. Like, the palette's beautiful, obviously. I love the colour story inside, if it would stay open. It reminds me of the Subculture palette. I really, really do enjoy it. But just how easily it gets scratched. I don't like it. I don't like it. It just, I don't know. And as I said, it's not like I have these palettes, like, just thrown into a drawer and like hope for the best. I do store them very, very well. So the fact that this is the only palette that looks like this is a little bit gross, not gonna lie. I'm not a fan. Not a fan of this like film thing over the top. Okay, next is show your dream palette using singles. So singles have been something that I have kind of delved deeper in over the past year, and I played around and I actually really like how this palette looks. So this is the palette, and as you can see, we've got a row of like light periwinkle and like tealy blues. The middle row is more like true blues with some shimmers, and then we have a cool toned neutral row at the bottom as well. I think this is like me in a palette. I really, really love this palette. Cool tone neutrals are my absolute favourite. I do have some beautiful duochrome shades in here as well. So this shade is Blueberry from the Pastel Roses. It's like a periwinkly blue. Then we have Dreamscape from the Pastel Roses, which is like a purple to blue duochrome. We have Frosty from the Pastel Roses, which is a blue to yellow duochrome. Then we have Bon Appetit from MBA Cosmetics, and this is like a blue to purple. Then we have Vixen from the Pastel Roses as well, which is just a super like shimmery, sparkly, beautiful shade. I love blue with a pop of neutral. That is my amazing, like, oh, love it. Love that colour story. Blues, neutrals, even these periwinkles, I've started to like really, really enjoy. I think this is a beautiful palette. I know that it's like not everyone's cup of tea, which is completely okay. But yeah, I just wanted to showcase some of my beautiful singles because I think that I could do like a lot of looks with this. I think I could get a lot of joy from this. And yeah, it's me in a palette. You know, it's very me, gotta admit. So yeah, what do you think of this singles palette? Let me know down below. Okay, next is two palettes that you would pair together. So this was really difficult for me actually, but eventually I did find a bit of a dream team. So I have the Huda Beauty Wild Jaguar palette and the P. Louise Winter Wonderland palette. So the Wild Jaguar is very, very cool tone neutral. It's got like a purpley kind of theme to it. And then the Winter Wonderland is very blue, cool tone blue with kind of cool toned purple as well. And I think that one of them is like the neutral sister to the other one. I'm not sure. I just think that they could go really, really nicely together. They're both very, very cool toned. They have quite a similar vibe to my custom palette, I think. And yeah, I like how there's like a mauvey purpley theme in the Jaguar, and then there's like a dusty version of that in the Winter Wonderland. I don't know, this prompt was really quite hard for me to do. I don't know, I'm not good at pairing things together. I'm good at like pairing colours together, but like whole palettes, that's kind of difficult. But I think they kind of vibe off each other. I think they're okay. I think that they could work well, I don't know. Let me know what you think down in the comments because I'm still a little bit unsure on this one, not gonna lie. I don't know, but I think that they go well together. They kind of have everything that I want, my neutrals, my like super sparkly shades as well. I don't know, let me know. Next is a big palette that you wish was smaller, and I chose my Bella Pierre All Stars palette. This is a massive 35 shade palette, and I just think some of the neutrals are very, very similar in this palette. I don't think you need all of these neutrals, and I think you could easily get rid of at least one row in this palette and still have all of the colours that you kind of have already. It is massive, as you can see. I have quite a few pans in this. It's such an easy palette to hit pan on, to be honest, and I was originally thinking of doing a pan that palette in order with this palette, but then, you know what? I'm so overwhelmed right now with eyeshadows and with project panning. I thought, no, let's be sensible and not do that. The quality of this palette is beautiful. It is so stunning, but it just doesn't get used because it's just so big. It lives at the back of my drawer, and it's a lot. It's a lot to bring out. It has everything that I need, but like so many of these shades, like this shade up here and then this shade down here, are pretty identical. We've got like so many kind of orangey tones. Even both of these down here are so similar. We don't need all of these. Even this corner shade and then this shade up here. So these two, so similar. Yeah, we just don't need all of these at all. I do like this palette. I'd love to get more use out of this palette in like hopefully not too long. But yeah, it's just massive. So many repeat shades. But I still kind of love it. I still love it so much, but you know what? I'm gonna go with it. I can't change my mind now. So yeah, that's what I'm picking. And finally is a palette that you wish had a matching face palette. This was difficult. Like, I didn't really know what to go with. I didn't know if they meant matching as in like theme and vibe, or if they meant matching as in like the same colours that are in the eyeshadow palette. So like using the eyeshadows as face palettes and products. I don't know, but I did go for the Soft Glam palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. This was such a missed opportunity for ABH, I think. If they would have brought out this palette with a kind of matching face palette, they'd have been in the business. ABH, hire me. I've got so many good ideas. I think that this palette was like so popular at the time because it was the perfect bridal palette, wasn't it? It was the perfect makeup artist palette. It was the perfect everyday palette. And I think if they'd have come out with like a Soft Glam face palette that had like a nice kind of peachy blush with like a nice kind of subtle kind of highlighter, maybe two bronzers that were this kind of like tone, I guess, I think they would have had an amazing sale. I think they would have done incredibly. Maybe pop it with like a bundle with this palette and maybe like a lipstick or something. Call it like the bridal Soft Glam package. I don't know. But I think it is such a missed opportunity that ABH did not come out with a Soft Glam face palette with this, because it would have been amazing. It would have been so good. But no, they didn't do that. This is a classic for a reason. It is beautiful. It is neutral. It is stunning. And yeah, ABH, pick up. Come on, you need to pick up. So that is the end of this tag. I really did enjoy it. I don't do tags. Have I ever done a tag? I think I've done like one tag before, but like ages ago. So yeah, it's been nice to just sit down and have like a little bit of a talk with you guys about some of my favourite palettes. If you've done a video like this, let me know. Or if you haven't got a YouTube channel, answer the questions down in the comments because I'm really intrigued. What do you think of my picks? Would you change any of them? Do you agree with any of them? Do you think any of them are like absolutely not? She has got it completely wrong. Let me know down in the comments because I'm very, very nosy and I always love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions on things. Okay, this is where I'm gonna love you and leave you guys. If you did enjoy this video, definitely like and subscribe because it would mean the world to me. Let me know if you want me to do more tags because I would definitely be interested. If there's any specific tags that you kind of want me to have a look at, let me know. Have an incredible day and I will see you tomorrow for a new video. Bye bye!